Start, start, start. Hit the button. Hit the live stream button. Make it play. Make it go. Take the steps necessary. All right. Peace and blessings. Are we live? Are we here? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello, world. Peace and blessings. Let me see. Drag this tab up here so I can see all of these things together. Maybe I should separate this one. There we go. Center lane. All right, what up? Go live. Let's go. Let's go. We're live. Peace and blessings, y'all. Hope all is well. Yeah, just popping in to say hello and sip on some tea. It's Saturday evening, close to night. Um, yeah, was on the fence about whether or not I was gonna go out tonight or chill and just take a moment to relax inside. I have some tea in front of me. I had a little bit of wine earlier, which is rare. I don't drink wine often. Hey, Chloe. Peace and blessings. It's always great to catch you on these live streams for sure. But yeah, just checking in, I was live yesterday. I was live the day before, trying to make it a habit. Still trying to figure out the right hour to live stream, but it's been a while because I was doing the consistent live stream back in February where I was creating a brand new song a day, but that was like the month challenge and I wanted to reframe after that, but then life got in the way. A lot of things popped up. Grateful for some, somber for the others, but yeah, just had to give space to certain things. Sometimes I like to look at it as like life gives us seasons for certain activities and to articulate certain emotions and experiences. So yeah, now I'm back. Now I'm back. Now I'm sipping on some tea, just catching up with folks and seeing who wants to check in with Mr. Wildenfree. What up, Martin? Peace and blessings. How's everything going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Currently live streaming across platforms per usual. So I am live on uh, YouTube as well as Kick, as well as Twitch, as well as Retake.tv. What up, Dustin on Kick? Peace and blessings. Hope you're doing well. Running my own live stream is, yeah, so I'm that's great. Way to look at it. What season are you in now? What season am I in? I mean, that's a amazing question, to be honest with you. I am really trying to figure that out. It's initially I felt like I was in a season of change. I was planning for like this whole digital nomad lifestyle, and certain things found their way to being a priority with community driven activities here in the Atlanta area. And so, I started to really lock in with Connected Camping. Shout out to Connected Camping. We had a really beautiful camping experience this year. And it was important to me to stick around for that because, I've been, working with them for the last 5 years to build this thing. It's a very beautiful experience. And we were previously running this thing like 6 times a year. So like once a month from May to October, where we would do a 24-hour camping experience that took a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and we made it work. And we turned it into something beautiful. And we have official sponsorship by REI, and had a partner event with Rivian, like really doing some beautiful things with this community group. And so that was one of the things where I was like, oh man, like that's a high priority in my life right now and something that I want to give space to. So it made me put the considerations for like the digital nomad lifestyle on the back burner. And then now I'm past that camping experience, and then something else has come up. And so I was invited to be a speaker at the Make with Notion conference in September. And so I got that news actually midway through June. So before I had to renew my lease. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. And I don't want to do too much and be out of the way and make it more challenging to come back for that experience. But I would like to take this opportunity to be a speaker at the Make with Notion conference. I think that would be a beautiful thing. And so now I I decided to renew my lease. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I renewed the lease, and now I'm still, based in Atlanta, and I'm taking this time to work on, getting that presentation ready for that speech in September. And then after that, I'm, gonna figure out what's what because, I was planning on being gone already, or in my head at least. I felt like um I would force myself to be ready by the time I my lease was up, to be ready for this whole digital nomad kind of like living abroad lifestyle. In reality, I'm not as ready as it sounds. Like, just like logistically speaking, I do think spiritually, or like even in like the sense of personal desire and where I'm at in life and what I want to experience and where I am with things, like I do feel like I'm in a different space than I was when I initially made that decision as well. Um which I'm trying to figure out why. And I don't know if it's like complacency or like feeling comfortable, like feeling too comfortable, and rationalizing the ways that that comfort is nice as a it's hard to call it an escape because it's technically an escape from the thing that I thought would be an escape for me, like the idea of living abroad and doing the whole digital nomad lifestyle. You would imagine that is the escape, but somehow I'm trying to find an escape from even that. Life happens when you're busy making plans. Funny how it all plays out. My goodness. You're not lying. Um, that's one that I'm like really struggling with. Sorry, this tab was all over GM. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for checking in. Um, yeah, so yeah, I'm fascinated by that actually, Chloe, because I'm at that space, where it's like I'm seeing life move and time is passing and life is changing and chapters are changing and seasons are changing, and um I continue to orient myself around the things that I believe are my passion and my purpose and the things that I want to put pursuits and efforts into. And it's really interesting because yeah, comfort is a tricky one for sure. Like yeah, maybe it is just that, reconciling the comfort and complacency of life and the things that you want to give your effort and energy to on the day to day. Peace and blessings. Avax Jesus is quite the username. But GM to you as well. um yeah. Um Comfort is tricky. Complacency is even trickier. It's like sometimes you can be complacent and not even feel a sense of comfort in it. You're just habitually tied to it. And even the things that you feel would bring you comfort are elsewhere, but somehow you can't find yourself there. That's a unfortunate bar, but you see what I'm saying? I think that's where I'm at, where I don't even necessarily feel as though I'm comfortable in this complacency because I do think that I have an innate predisposition or orientation to lean towards the things that would make me uh, uncomfortable, I think. Or at least I like to think I am. And then as I move towards those things that would make me uncomfortable, I find a comfortable middle ground. of like, okay, well, I did the efforts of moving towards it. I built the thing. I don't have to market the thing. I've at least proven to myself that I built the thing. So I can put it down now. It's not as important anymore. That's a trap. That's the place that you don't really want to find yourself in, right? And I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, because sometimes I think about the greats that have come before me, like people like Leonardo da Vinci, who like created a bunch of stuff, had many different inventions, and dabbled in many different art forms and mediums, and not everything saw the light of day. Some of it was posthumous, but I think that I still find merit and value in the things that I create that sometimes may or may not see the light of day. But I also feel like there's this direct imperative in the way that society is set up right now and in this attention economy that like it just reinforces this idea that the way to make your thing valuable, or the way in which you can validate the thing that you think is valuable, is through the eyes of others. Like you have to have it validated by the attention of the experiences held across social media platforms and whatever else. So finding that balance within that experience, and recognizing like it's sometimes more challenging for me to like market myself than it is to just be myself, right? But that's why I'm showing up in this kind of way right now. Just being on this live stream with no forethought, no plan of action, no particular thing that I wanted to talk about while on this stream. But one thing I did have was this willingness, a willingness to show up for this moment. And so I just decided to hop on live stream, and here I am. I don't know if that was my noise gate or my de-esser. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Peace and blessings. Um, yeah, doing well, FJ. FJ89 official. Peace and blessings over there on Twitch. Grateful for you popping in. Just chopping it up with the people. I'm currently live streaming across platforms, so I'm on YouTube, as well as Twitch, as well as Kick, as well as Retake.tv, which is on the Web3 side of things. So if you're interested in the Web3 like blockchain related stuff, that's your go-to right there. Sipping on tea. That's the whole MO. I had some time. I had some tea in front of me. Not gonna lie, I went on an impromptu date earlier. I wasn't expecting to just kind of go on a date. I mean, I guess you can call it a date. It wasn't really like a date. I just went out to eat and had some lunch with a friend, but you know, I'm an attractive man, and I was with an attractive woman, and I think we both understood that. So oh man. Nah, but it was chill times earlier. Had a little bit of wine, which was nice. And so now I'm back at the house. I'm chilling. I'm like, okay, I got the little wine buzz. I got my tea. I had a little bit of the green earlier. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just picked it back up recently within the last couple of weeks or months. And I'm already ready to put it back down, but I won't talk about it. Maybe, maybe not. If y'all egg me into it, I'll talk about it. But never heard of Retake. Retake is a pretty cool platform. So Retake is a live streaming platform just like Kick, just like Twitch, just like YouTube, just like TikTok, in the sense that you have a stream key. You can plug it into OBS or Meld or whichever one of these streaming platforms you're using, right? And you can also stream directly from the website as well. But what makes it interesting is that it's tied into this Farcaster protocol. And the Farcaster protocol is it's a fascinating one. It's a decentralized social media experience, and it kind of gives ownership of your social graph back to you, which is something very different than what we get from like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of that stuff. It is the future, and it is the groundwork and the foundations are laid already right now, and it's in place, and it's emerging right before us. The base app, which is Coinbase, right? So previously they were referred to as the Coinbase Smart Wallet. They are now the Base app. And their social experience is built on top of the Farcaster protocol. And they have a wait list that is around 700,000 people. And so that's your heads up. That's your heads up for this brand new experience that is emerging right in front of our eyes. And so I'm just doing my due diligence to participate. You heard? Like I've had my ears to the grindstone for a little minute now in regards to like crypto, blockchain, web 3 and all that. But I'm doing more of a due diligence to show up for it lately. So Chloe, you said, yeah, when you explain it like that, it highlights a kind of resistance in creation and the value derived from it. Damn, you used to teach English in the metaverse. That's fire. That's actually really fire. Very cool. Okay. Chloe, I think that like the resistance in creation and the values derived from it. I find myself it's weird the resistance that I feel that emerges for my creativity. I really don't understand it. The thing that makes it challenging. I was watching a video earlier today, and it was about being too smart. Not to say that I'm super smart or anything like that, but hyper intellectualism, overthinking, right? Like hyper sanity, being in that frame of reference where your mind is just on 6,400 RPM consistently. Being in that space, you're not recognizing a specific duality that has to be acknowledged if you want to show up in a particular way in the world. And so the video articulated, matter of fact, let me bring it up so I can just give them their kudos. Let me see if I can find it. I realized just now that I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch a bunch of YouTube videos. So it begins. Reactive. The output mindset. I think it was this one. Maybe it was this one. Shout out to Westenberg.
To consult. There is only the work.
Hold on, sorry, I'm not
In
sure
the
if
Renaissance
y'all
workshops of
Or
Florence,
maybe you are,
apprentices
I'm
spent
not.
years sanding panels, grinding pigments, and copying the hands of their masters before they were allowed a single original commission. Their output was not the performance of genius, it was the steady rhythm of craft. The measure of worth was not audience applause, it was the quiet nod of a master who had seen thousands of brushstrokes before. Being output native is to live in that mode by default, regardless of whether your medium is oil paint, code, metal, or prose. The temptation.
See, it's that aspect, right? Like being output native. That was the whole philosophy that I was picking up from this video and recognizing. Like there's actually another video too, but this is the one that was really like giving that frame of reference around like just how to articulate yourself within that output native mindset. But there was another one that was talking about, could have been another one, could have been the same one, but there's two aspects of ourselves, the strategist and the performer. And the strategist is the one that can do all of these contemplations and these considerations around the creativity and the ways in which it's supposed to show up in the world and all of the forethought and the planning and the blueprinting and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then the performer is the one that actually has to show up in those moments to really express the artistry, the creativity, the moment, like to really be in that moment of this is what I have been speaking on and calling into existence. This is the moment that I need to show up and perform. So that version of ourselves is a completely separate version of ourselves than that strategist. And we have to give ourselves enough space to nurture the performer within us as well, right? To give space to the performer to say, okay, hey, you know what? Like, I have to show up right now in this moment on this live stream, regardless of whether or not I feel like I know how to show up correctly, regardless of whether or not I feel like my strategist has aligned all of the pieces and made sure that, you know, the situation unfolds exactly how I foretold it. Like, no, like you have to kind of scrap all of that on the strategy side so that you can nurture the performer within you. Because fortunately or unfortunately, your strategist and your performer have to be at an equal level of experience, right? Like if you think about it from a video games point of view, um, you have to train that performer independently and individually, separate from the strategist, to make sure that they're on the same level so that they can be on an even playing field when you do want to show up for it, right? Like there are strategies that I have that my performer can't show up for. And I feel a type of way about that. I do. And I acknowledge it. And it's something that I want to grow from. And it's something that being here on this live stream is helping me to grow from. Yeah. This is some really good tea, by the way. Ah, this is Tea Pigs. It's a random brand of tea called Tea Pigs. And they have a licorice and peppermint. Love it so much. It's so good. That's what I'm drinking right now. Anyway, FJ89, if you're still here, which metaverse platform were you teaching in? Because I'm curious about that. Thank you, Chloe. I appreciate that. Fascinating indeed, in its own ways. Mm. Yeah, so anyway, if you didn't know, I got a new single out. It's called Seams of Dreams. I'm lying. It's not out yet. It's out somewhere. It's on Tortoise. If you're on the Farcaster protocol, if you're on the Farcaster app, if you're on the Base app, and you've downloaded or you have interacted with the Tortoise mini app, you would probably know by now, but I got a single out. And it's called Seams of Dreams. And I love that song a lot. It was produced by Sean Local Crew. It's a really dope producer. And yeah, I love it so much. I'm gonna perform it because that's what I do here. If you didn't know, on this Wildenfree channel and all the ways that I show up, I perform my music. Of course, we get a preview, Chloe. Of course. So, more than a preview, I'm gonna perform it outright. So, Seams of Dreams everywhere, September 9th. Currently on the Tortoise mini app on the Farcaster protocol. So if you're on Farcaster, if you're on the Base app, go check out Seams of Dreams collected from the Tortoise mini app. And yeah, here we go. Took me all this time to make my mind up, still ain't made my mind in its completion. It's an endless seam of dreams and patternings of different rings and chapters. I skipped through season passes, seen the masters, still searching for what I should master. I dipped and dabbled, smoked the dab and licked the tab, got rid of that to walk a different path. I never said I was infallible. I stepped the lateral, then climbed the ladder up, the ladder which had switched the scenes to what I bring to thee in lucid verses. A universe of multitudes contained within it. All my lyrics be the language model. A train of thought that trains the bots to be prolific if they ever come across it in this algorithmic distance. Shouting to the void for a quantum leap assistance. Trying to sell myself to save my soul, it ain't no difference. Thank you for the listen. I'm just here to wish you well. Then share with you my thoughts. Here's what I got, and honestly, it took me all this time to make my mind up. Still ain't made my mind in its completion. It's an endless seam of dreams and patternings of different rings and chapters. I skipped through season passes, seen the masters, still searching for what I should. Wait, seen the masters, skip through season passes, reams and chapters. It's an endless seam of dreams, my mind ain't made to be complete. And honestly, I wish you well, cause you're listening to me. And I ain't trying to sell my soul, just enjoy the quantum leap across this algorithmic distance. Prolific, the train of thought of language models within it. Lucid while I'm up in it, the multitudes of universes switch the scenes and tune to me like I remain. Shouting to the void on a different path, somewhere where time is on a different tab. Simple man. It is me that I shall master, crafting all these verses, chiseling my soul to shape myself on an endless seam of dreams turned into purpose. Infinite recursive, shape-shifting the surface of irrelevance, a kingdom of intelligence, pixelated melanin modeling excellence. That hex code just to stylize my avatar ain't blue in eyes, though they cute despite our differences. Anyway, off the irrelevance, still folding pros like Alpha Fold, house and home. I'm still here like the couch is phone. In this bit like I found the loan, I'm a mortgage, I need memorialized. Cutting stone of the foundation, I'm fortified. Lord of mine, a simulation of good graces you're shaping. Mathematical equations, thick dyes and relations, tectonics and taste and fruits of patience I've been cultivating. Swear I took a minute, and the levels I've matured to veer from sinning. Shouting to the globe that my art and presence surely worth persisting when I just need to tell myself to listen. Well, can't believe. So yeah, that was Seams of Dreams. Turn on the reverb. Okay, now I'm turning it off. I'm sorry. I apologize for my outburst. No, that was great. Yeah. So that's Seams of Dreams. Definitely check it out on the Tortoise app. It will be on all major streaming services September 9th. I'm really looking forward to that one. And yeah, just love that song so much. I forgot what that pin looked like up there. I was like looking at it on screen. I'm like, which pin was that? Yeah, thank you, Chloe. Thank you. Yeah, it's a great song. I love it so much. In my opinion, I'm biased, obviously, but I poured my heart into that verse for sure. And I got some other recent verses that feel like that, but those verses were like odes. So like I would have to spit those a cappella. I couldn't like play the the beat with it because those beats are like other people's beats. Yeah, so dun, dun, dun. Yeah. But that's what we do around here. You know what I'm saying? We enjoy ourselves. We make a little bit of music. We write from a perspective of balance and duality. We think about inspiring resilience at the intersection of culture and the cutting edge. I appreciate that, Chloe. That's the way the song was made. It was intended to be played on repeat. Like, if you don't believe me, I'm gonna perform it again. I'm gonna do it again. took me all this time to make my mind up, still ain't made my mind in its completion. It's an endless seam of dreams and pettinings of different reams and chapters. I skipped with season passes, seen the masters, still searching for what I should master. I dipped and dabbled, smoked the dab and licked the tab, got rid of that to walk a different path. I never said I was infallible. I stepped the lateral, then climbed the ladder up, the ladder which had switched the scenes to what I bring to thee in lucid verses. A universe of multitudes contained within it. All my lyrics be the language modeled. A train of thought that trains the bots to be prolific if they ever come across it in this algorithmic distance. Shouting to the void for quantum leap assistance. Trying to sell myself to save my soul, it ain't no difference. Thank you for the listen. I'm just here to wish you well. Then share with you my thoughts. Here's what I got, and honestly, it took me all this time to make my mind up, still ain't made my mind in its completion. It's an endless seam of dreams and patternings of different reams and chapters. I skipped with season passes, seen the masters, still searching for what I should. Wait, seen the masters, skip with season passes, reams and chapters. It's an endless seam of dreams, my mind ain't made to be complete. And honestly, I wish you well, cause you're listening to me. And I ain't trying to sell my soul, just enjoy the quantum leap across this algorithmic distance. Prolific, the train of thought of language models within it. Lucid while I'm up in it, the multitudes of universes switch the scenes and tune to me like I remain. Shouting to the void on a different path, somewhere where time is on a different tab. Simple math, it is me that I shall master, crafting all these verses, chiseling my soul to shape myself on an endless seam of dreams turned into purpose. Infinite recursive, shape-shifting the surface of irrelevance, a kingdom of intelligence, pixelated melanin modeling excellence. That hex code just to stylize my avatar ain't blue in eyes, though they cute despite our differences. Anyway, off the irrelevance, still folding pros like AlphaFold, house and home. I'm still here like the couch is foam. In this bit like I found the loan, I'm a mortgage, I mean memorialized. Cutting stone to the foundation, I'm fortified. Lord of mine, the simulation of good graces you're shaping. Mathematical equations, thick thighs and relations, tectonics and taste and fruits of patience I've been cultivating. Swear it took a minute, and the levels I've matured to veer from sinning. Shouting to the globe that my art and presence surely worth persisting when I just need to tell myself to listen. What up, offline? Well, this is what I mean by it's made to repeat. It took me all this time to make my mind up, still ain't made my mind in its completion. It's an endless seam of dreams and pattern. So the way the verse, hold on, let me run that back for you, just so you know. So like the way that the verse ends at the end there, it like rolls right back into the intro. Well, I'm just like, when I just need to tell myself to listen. And then I say all of that, take a breather, and then I go, can't believe it took me all this time to make my mind up, still ain't made my mind in its completion. It's an endless seam of dreams and patternings of different reams and chapters. I skipped with season passes, seen the masters, still searching for what I should master. I dipped and dabbled, smoked the dab and licked the tab, got rid of that to walk a different path. I never said I was infallible. I stepped the lateral, then climbed the ladder up, the ladder which had switched the scenes to what I bring to thee in lucid verses. A universe of multitudes contained within it. All my lyrics be the language model, a train of thought that trains the bots to be prolific if they ever come across it in this algorithmic distance. Shouting to the void for quantum leap assistance, trying to sell myself to save my soul, it ain't no difference. Thank you for the listen, I'm just here to wish you well. Then share with you my thoughts, here's what I got, and honestly it took me all this time to make my mind up, still ain't made my mind in its completion. It's an endless seam of dreams and patternings of different reams and chapters. I skipped with season passes, seen the masters, still searching for what I should. Wait, see the masters? Skip with season passes, reams and chapters. It's an endless seam of dreams, my mind ain't made to be complete. And honestly, I wish you well, cause you're listening to me. And I ain't trying to sell my soul, just enjoy the quantum leap across this algorithmic distance. Prolific, the train of thought of language models within it. Lucid while I'm up in it, the multitudes of universes switch the scenes and tune to me like I remain. Shouting to the void on a different path, somewhere where time is on a different tab. Simple math. It is me that I shall master, crafting all these verses, chiseling my soul to shape myself on an endless seam of dreams turned into purpose. Infinite recursive, shape-shifting the surface of irrelevance, a kingdom of intelligence, pixelated melanin, muddling excellence. That hex code just to stylize my avatar ain't blue in eyes, though they cute despite our differences. Anyway, off the irrelevance, still folding pros like AlphaFold, house and home. I'm still here like the couch is foam, in this bit like I found the loan. I'm a mortgage, I'm memorialized, cutting stone, dug the foundation, I'm fortified. Lord of mine, a simulation of good graces you're shaping. Mathematical equations, thick thighs and relations, tectonics and taste and fruits of patience I've been cultivating. Swear it took a minute, and the levels I've matured to veer from sinning. Shouting to the globe that my art impressing, surely worth persisting, when I just need to tell myself to listen. Well, can't believe it took me all this time to make my mind up. Well, and that's what I mean by it's made to repeat. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, that was one of those special ones right there. Hit all my little buttons on my little stream deck so I can get the chat back on the window. But that Seams of Dreams. That's out everywhere, September 9th. Super excited about that one, for sure. Yeah. Feels good to perform that one too. Like, and always trying to get it in one breath. That's always tough. Caught myself off guard halfway through it. But that's the beauty of like performing it, you know? You got to get the reps in so you know how to work through those kind of little technicalities, those little issues. Almost stopped like halfway through trying to like cough and stuff, you know? Couldn't do that. Gotta deliver the performance. But yeah, nah. We just, we doing our thing over here, doing our best, continuing to share the music, continuing to put that energy out in the world, continuing to do our due diligence to support others and be supported in return. Sometimes I think that there is a willingness in that as well, right? Yeah, we got to show up for ourselves in all of the ways that allow others to support us. Sometimes harder than it sounds, but oh yeah, no, it was tough. It was definitely tough. Trying to get all of that done without tripping up with it. Yeah, but I like that challenge. That's the lyricist in me, you know. It's just to play with words in such a way. And there's other artists that have come before me and those that come after me that, all find that same fascination and that beauty and that joy within the lyrical play, like the metaphor, the syllogisms. I don't know, that's not the word I was trying to go for at the moment, but like the analogies, the allusions, the alliteration, right? Like just all of these different plays that you can have with the words. It's so fun. It's so fun. Like, yeah, but also it's for me it's always this process of like self-discovery. So it's less about like sometimes the wordplay is fun, right? Like that's just kind of fun, but like the revelations are cathartic. Like, oh my goodness, like and more often than not they show up in the simplest fashion, right? Like my favorite line from that track, one of my favorite lines from that track when so for those that may or may not have noticed, the song actually kind of has a mirroring point where the first verse, it goes all the way through, and the second verse starts the same way the first verse does, but then it kind of flips the mirror on itself and it's like, wait a minute, hold on. I actually just rapped about all of these things. I actually just brought these things up. And then I reflect on each one of those points from each of those bars in reflection with somewhat of a new stance on it, right? Where initially, as I'm going through the first pass of the verse, I'm like still searching for what I should master. And, just talked about the mathematics and all of these things. And then on the second half of the verse, I go, oh, it's simple math. It is me that I shall master. Like what in like those words, there's nothing, you know, technical about the choice of words, right? But damn, do they hit, like when I think about them, when I spit that verse, when I hear that, like it's such a catharsis. It's such an emotional, galvanizing experience to just really put that together and feel it and understand it and move towards that as a vision, right? Like it's simple math. It's me that I shall master. Crafting all these verses, chiseling my soul to shape myself on an endless seam of dreams turned into purpose. My goodness. So yeah, that's how I feel about my own music. And that's how I feel about that song in particular. It just does something for me that I just you can only discover that thing through the purest presence with your creativity. That's what I think, at least. Yeah. Well, we did a little 40-minute sprint today. I think that was pretty good. My tea is like not super close to done, but close enough to getting done. And when I finish my cup of tea, I'm probably gonna log off. Not gonna lie to y'all, but it's been fun. I'm trying to experience what it's like to kind of hop in, hop out. Give myself a deadline or a time limit with the live streams, but like showing up more frequently. So yeah, that's the idea here. And I think the way that I think and the way that I show up in the live streams sometimes can make it challenging to give a frame for like what the topic of conversation is or what you all will get to experience per live stream. I mean, at this point, it should be known. Like, I'm going to spit a verse or two or three or four, right? But at the very least, I've been wanting to, consider just showing up in other ways like how I am right now, just kind of talking to y'all, but also just like sharing updates, like what's going on. And my bad, that thing, that reverb was on. I was like, why do I feel like I'm in a long hallway right now? I still had the reverb on. But yeah, doing my due diligence to show up in these ways that, you know, allow me to nurture the performer within me. Like I have to nurture the performer as well as the strategist. The strategist has had years, years to show up, like, and do its thing. And I'm not mad at it. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my strategist, but I have to nurture the performer within me. And so that's why I'm showing up in this way right now and finding out more ways to show up in this way for you all and for myself, um, because I have to consistently remind myself and encourage myself and put it into the world and into my own belief and understanding that there is something of genuine value here that I am sharing with my music, with my frame of reference, with my perspective. I think if people can like see and admire artists like JID, like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, like there's obviously space for me here too. Like obviously. Like I just have to keep showing up. And so that's what I'll do. Come hell or high water. Just gotta keep putting myself in front of the space. Thank you, Chloe. No, I really appreciate that. Your presence here means a lot, for sure. and I'm glad you got something from it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm keep doing what I do, keep showing up in all the ways that I possibly can, and sometimes that might take me a little bit more time than I would have imagined. But you know, at the end of the day, I see myself always coming back to this space right here, just nurturing my artist, sharing my talents, sharing space, holding space for you all, and to have an opportunity to support and to witness and to hear and to share and to hopefully gain some of these revelations through my music and all of the crazy things. Sometimes it may not be as, you know, nice, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I make songs that aren't as nice feeling. Sometimes I do. 'Cause I don't even know if that song counts as nice feeling. There's some revelations in it, but sometimes it's also like you just got to listen all the way through it to get all of the benefit. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. But yeah. All's wells that ends well. So, if there's no other final thoughts, no closing thoughts or sentiments or questions, I'm gonna go ahead and log off for the night. And yeah, peace and blessings. Hope you all are doing well. Have a happy Saturday evening. And I'll talk soon. Peace, y'all.